Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about Bogren Digital's Eloy drums, Slipknot's drummer Eloy Casagrande's signature instrument drum plugin that works in Kontakt. Alright, that was pretty fast, 190 BPM. So yeah, this is the song. Two guitars. I feel myself while I played the left rhythm guitar and the solo, and then I doubled the right one and added a bit of harmonies afterwards. Both are Bogren Digital's Bad Boy. It's my signature plugin from the Marshall JC Maynard 2203, the Bad Boy. Cabinet number 1. Left guitar is the same Bad Boy with cabinet number 2, vintage cabinet. And they go into SSL 4000G channel strip, but that's there for a color. And then I've done a little bit soothing, little EQing, just to fit the song, and multiband compression. And that's it. The lead guitar is the Bad Boy. Cabinet number 3, the lead cabinet. And there I added a little bit of a compression. Just brings it a little bit more forward and evens a bit. Bass. Bass basic is Bogren's bass knob. And then I have EQ afterwards. I'm taking out some, those kind of scooped bass sounds. Seem to work for this song. If we listen this. I just took that out because this is so fast song. It was kind of felt a bit crowded. And then there's a compressor. Evening it out. And then I have bass low, which focuses only on low end. That's Bogren bass knob set to clean. Then there's EQ, and it's only up until like 300. So just the low end. And then I boosted 50 Hz, like 15 dB or something. Insane. And here low cut also, so it more cut, so it's just low end. So it does this, and it's heavily compressed. And together the whole bass thing. And that's it. All right, then let's focus on the drums. Let's listen to them solo for a while. So these Eloy drums, like Bogren's Cream and Trivium drums, they work inside Kontakt. I have the full Kontakt 8. I can't remember now if this works with the free Kontakt, but I think they are. But please check out the information from Bogren's website. And if you use my link in the description below, if you end up buying something, you'll get a discount and I'll get a small commission, which would be much appreciated. So please use my link or my code Euge 230 volts. So this is very similar like the other plugins, Bogren's drum plugins, which are great. You gotta have a gong. So there's two sets. There's this kind of Eloy's Slipknot set, and then there is a Eloy's this Casagrande set, which is a bit smaller. Sounds great, and both sets comes with presets made by Jens Bogren, Max Morten, Dan Svanö, Lasse Lammert, my good friend Jacob Herman, David Otero. You know, so if you're not familiar with mixing drums or you don't have much experience, just, you know, pick one of these and you're probably good to go. But let's check out the Slipknot kind of kit, because that's what I used on this song. So yeah, there's several toms and then several snares. You can choose, you know, the bell brass damped, bell brass, I guess, undamped, more ring, Premier damped, higher kind of Premier not damped, a little bit ring, subtle difference, supertonic, oh that's deep, kind of metallic, and classic Black Beauty. Great. I think I used this one, which came with the F Street Grande preset. And then there's a lower kick, and higher. This is actually lower. Well, subtle difference. The other hand had a little bit more snap. Well, toms are, you know, what they are. Several cymbals, left, right, left hat, right hat, 4 crashes, right, cup, Mookie, China, this kind of like damped splash and ring splash. These are just for looks like they are on Eloy's set. Then we have a mixer. So here's like SSL style EQ, sends to short and long reverbs, envelope filter, bleed control, how much bleed, and so on. Sub kick, trigger, there's a couple of samples, and then you can drag and drop your own, you know, one-shot samples if you want. I didn't use them on this one. Snare, very familiar EQ to me, SSL, toms, you know, overheads, room, master. The only thing I did this to this kit, I added a little bit more parallel compression. I didn't touch any of these, I just took the threshold. I think I had it probably somewhere here. No, I had it exactly where it was. it a little bit more like this. And there's grooves. You know, it comes with these grooves, groove metal grooves, hard rock, progressive metal, thrash metal, all these beats. So I wrote this song based on these beats. So can't remember what I used, but and there's this one. Yeah. So, and there's feels and so on. And obviously, I'm not gonna go into that, but you know, you could bring in your other MIDI beats to this, but it's a certain process. You need to basically find the folder where they are, find the folder where these are, and then put your beats in there, and you're good to go. And then it comes with different MIDI mappings: Eloy, Modern Massive, Easy Drummer, Superior Drummer 3. So if you have MIDI beats that were made with or for Superior Drummer 3, choose the MIDI mapping here for Superior Drummer 3 and you should be good to go. It doesn't always work perfectly, then you need to maybe tweak something, I know by experience, but it's usually pretty accurate. And there's velocities, you can tweak a lot here. But if you just use these presets, you know, it's like you heard, it's, you know, sounded pretty awesome. Kit you. Okay, so that's in all its simplicity. And then a couple of tips. So what I do when I write songs, I many times write with the drummer, and in this case, if I'm writing here, it's the artificial drummer. So I'm just scrolling through the beats. Then when something inspires me, I have a guitar in my hand, I start to write. So this song came just like that. So all of these beats, I've cut them, I've copied, pasted them, blended them, I chose different fills for different parts. Well, these are all from the Eloy pack. The only thing I did myself was these first hits. And then another tip, I don't know if you can do this. I think you can do this with all those, or at least you should be able to. But in Pro Tools, you can name these keyboards like what they are. So I have like, this is for Eloy drums. Then I have another keyboard set I've saved on my presets. I can show you here. There's Eloy, there's MDL drums, and you know, different. So when I'm programming these drums, or if I need to change the beat what I have, then I know that, okay, here's kick, snare 1, snare 2, snare flam. Well, that's a snare, but that's not snare. That's if I'm hearing right, it's hi-hat. So let's rename it hi-hat left 1. Now there's 2. This is really handy. If you have Pro Tools, do this. You should be able to do this with other DAWs too. Many people, you have asked me that how do I do the drums and how do I program them? I program them, but like on this song, the only thing I programmed was these hits. Like this part, I really like this original beat was longer, but I like the part of that specific beat. Like this, so then I just made it 4 times. Cool, and here's all the velocities. I didn't touch any of these. These are like Eloy played them. Obviously, if I wanna, let's say, raise the snare, then I can just do it like that. Okay, then a little bit about the mixing. So you can use this just on a stereo out. It works great. But the reason, I have a few reasons why I send these to multi-outs. And this depends on your DAW, but with Pro Tools, the plugin shows here, and then here's all the output channels from that, you know, Eloy drums plugin, and then I'm just sending. So I'm sending all the kicks to this except the trigger, Snares top, bottom goes to this one. Snare trigger on its own one. Hi-hat left, toms. One of the main reasons is that so I can send sidechain compression. Let me show you what this, because I have a sidechain. So this thing, it's on the bass bus, and whenever the kick hits, it ducks down the frequencies from the bass that are colliding with the kick, like the prominent frequencies. When it's bypass, it's a little things got, you know, the bass gets muddy and the kick gets muddy. This is a great way. So this is the area that they both have a lot of energy. I'm doing the same to rhythm guitars. Just a tiny bit like this without. So this is one of the main reasons why I send this to multi-outs, because you can see I haven't EQ'd this at all. I haven't. Is there anything going on? Not really. I'm just having a soothe on the cymbals, because I felt they were a bit, so just a tiny bit soothing out. And then I'm sending kicks, snares and toms to this crush bus. Listen what that does. So there I have Euge's Fatso and pre-collapse, and it's basically distorting kick, snare and toms. It's just to add sustain. Listen. Just brings a little fullness. It's like a parallel compression, tape saturation. So snare is a little bit more bottom, kick is a little bit fuller. And then I have tied room reverb only for snare and gated reverb only for snare. Let's use this the C part again, so you'll hear the gated reverb. And the tied room. So that's about it. I mean, all Bogren stuff, what they have released, it's top notch, and this is not an exception. It's a great, punchy, natural sounding drum kit. Almost like having Eloy Casagrande playing on this song, which he actually is playing, because he has recorded these files and then they've transferred them into MIDI. So this song I basically wrote with Slipknot's drummer. How cool is that? Hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Maybe you learned something and so on. But you know, please check out my affiliate link in the description below, or use my code Euge230V. If you end up buying this, you get a small discount. I'm not sure if you get a discount from this one, because usually Bogren, they have when something is new, they have a certain period where it's discounted. But everything from Bogren's side, bass plugins, guitar plugins, impulse responses, different drum plugins, everything that is not already discounted, you will get I think it was a 10% discount with my code, and I get a small commission, which is really cool. Okay, until next time, take care. Heavy metal.